Precautions before starting. Now that I've, hopefully, convinced you to admit that you often feel an underlying dissatisfaction with how you manage your daily life, and that this dissatisfaction stems from the constant sense that you're leaving things undone, always hoping you'll get to them when you have more time. Let me emphasize a simple truth. You'll never have more time. You already have all the time there is. So you might be expecting me to share some magical secret to perfectly organizing your day and getting rid of that nagging feeling of unfinished business. But there is no such secret. I don't expect to find one, and I doubt anyone else will either. When you first started to follow my reasoning, you might have felt a spark of hope, thinking, this person will show me an easy, effortless way to achieve what I've long wished to do. But unfortunately, there's no easy path. The road to success is tough and filled with obstacles, and the truth is, you may never fully reach your goal. The most important thing to realize before you start reorganizing your life so that you can live fully and comfortably within the 24 hours of each day is just how difficult this task is. It requires sacrifices and endless effort. I cannot stress this enough. If you think you can achieve your ideal by simply planning out a timetable with a pen and paper, you might as well give up now. If you're not ready for setbacks and disappointments, and if you can't be content with small results despite big efforts, then don't even start. Go back to the uneasy slumber that you call your existence. Yes, it's sad and depressing, isn't it? But I also think there's something noble about the need to brace yourself for the challenge before anything worthwhile can be done. I rather enjoy it. I find it to be the main thing that sets me apart from the cat napping by the fire. So, you ask, let's say I'm ready for the challenge. I've carefully considered your heavy words. How do I begin? The answer is simple. You just begin. There's no magic formula. If someone standing at the edge of a cold swimming pool asked, how do I start jumping in? You'd simply say, just jump, steady your nerves and jump. As I mentioned before, the beauty of time is that you can't waste it in advance. The next year, the next day, the next hour are all ready for you, as perfect and untouched as if you'd never wasted a single moment in your life. This is both comforting and motivating. You can start fresh every hour if you want. So, there's no point in waiting until next week or even tomorrow. You might think the water will be warmer next week, but it won't. It will be colder. Before you start, let me offer a few words of caution. First, be wary of your own enthusiasm. Enthusiasm for doing good can be misleading and deceptive. It demands attention right away, and at first, you can't satisfy it. It wants more and more. It's eager to move mountains and change the course of rivers. It's not happy until you're sweating. But then, too often, once it feels that sweat, it suddenly tires and dies out without even bothering to say, I've had enough of this. Don't take on too much at the beginning. Be content with starting small. Allow for setbacks. Allow for your own human nature. A few failures wouldn't be so bad if they didn't lead to a loss of self-esteem and confidence. Just as nothing succeeds like success, nothing fails like failure. Many people are ruined by trying to do too much, so in taking on the immense challenge of living fully and comfortably within the narrow limits of 24 hours a day, let's do everything we can to avoid an early failure. I don't agree that in this case, a glorious failure is better than a small success. I'm all for the small success. A glorious failure leads nowhere. A small success might lead to a success that isn't so small. So, let's start by examining how you spend your day's time. You say your day is already packed. Really? How much time do you actually spend earning a living? 7 hours on average. And sleeping? Another 7? I'll add 2 hours just to be generous. But I challenge you to account for the remaining 8 hours on the spot.